Hey there, it's Sinead Dunn here from the Extraordinary Mompreneur Community, and welcome to the Mompreneur Show, your weekly fill for tips, tricks and inspirations to help you build a successful life and business. And this week on the show we got chatty with the most amazing and energetic Cassie Jeans, and we talked about not always having to be the perfect mother, and it's okay to say that, and it's okay to be honest around motherhood. And we also got chatty about having some self-worth and the real importance of having it in the difference that it makes in your life and in your business. So let's delve in. Hi and welcome to the Mompreneur Show. I'm so happy that you are here. Could you just share a little bit about yourself and your business?
Absolutely, Sinead. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm stoked as always. Anytime I get to speak about what I really truly love, I get really excited, and I will forewarn everybody right now, I'm incredibly passionate. I'm a passionate person. I talk a lot with my hands. I get really into the conversation, and I really want to get to the nuts and bolts of everything. So if you're feeling that energy vibe with me, that's awesome. If not, okay, let's raise the roof. Let's raise the standard.
I'm on hands as well, so it's okay.
That's awesome, right? So my name is Cassie Jeans. I'm from Ontario, Canada, so I'm Canadian through and through. And I'm a life coach for millennials. And it really birthed from this place of self-discovery and really raising my standard for what it meant to truly live a life that was in sync with my heartbeat, that felt good to me, that was in purpose and that was in alignment. But it didn't always start there. I'm a mom of two beautiful, beautiful children, and I know the struggle that moms can go through. And I know sometimes we can get kind of tired of hearing about the struggle, but I think in order for people to really understand where you come from, I think that's part of your story. And I'm really a big believer in being transparent. And in our transparency, just showing up in authenticity. And backtrack 2 years ago, I was probably at one of my ultimate lows in my life where I really, truly did not want to be a mother anymore. I wanted just to break free from so many things. And as I started to peel back the layers of what was really going on underneath all of it, I found that I had a very low self-esteem. My value, my sense of worth was so low that I was sabotaging so many areas of my life. And from that has birthed this incredible journey that I'm so excited to share with you guys today.
Okay. So how has then motherhood impacted your business?
It's like a twofold sort of thing there. And motherhood has impacted my business in some amazing ways because as a mom, I've had to really refine my skills off camera. I've really had to raise my standard for what it meant for me to be a mom and to discipline my emotions in motherhood. And because my business it really revolves around self-worth, asking really strategic questions, being really conscious and deciding how you want to feel throughout the day, I've had to apply those same principles to motherhood, and it's really made me up my game. It's really, really made me battle some of the demons, some of the things from the past that I didn't even realize were triggers, but in this process of becoming the best version of myself, I realized that, oh my gosh, motherhood has probably been the most refining of everything. And it doesn't get talked about a lot in my business because it's not necessarily an ideal client situation in regards to, I don't want to lump it all just in for motherhood. I want to make sure that it gets addressed before people take that motherhood step. But I know for me, it's been one of the most refining processes for my business. And at the same time, it's been one of the most fueling parts of my business because, like I was saying, backtrack 2 years, I was a woman who wanted to leave. I did not want to be present with my family anymore. I did not want to be the mother that I was anymore. I didn't like her. I didn't like who she was becoming. I didn't like a lot of the anger, a lot of the resentment, a lot of the lack of self-care that was going on. There were so many things about that woman that I did not like. And I figured the best solution would be to walk away from the problem. I figured that would be the best solution. And what motherhood has allowed me to do in my business, because I completely broke, I was able to start to put things back together and start to bring the joy back into my life. And in that, I've become like a mother that I can be truly proud of, a mother that I can see down the road having a relationship with my children that means something, that isn't just because I'm the mom and they're the child. It's because it's a relationship that I want to be in with them. And not only that, it's a relationship that I believe I can fuel, and I believe that I can do my best to raise their standards for how they're going to be contributors in our world. And just knowing that that is a gift that has been given to me, knowing that that is something that absolutely I sought after, but also I was willing to receive, that to me means so much, because they are the future. They are the next generation. They quite possibly could be the biggest ripple effect that I ever actually make an impact on.
Sure.
And that is just like, all right, that's so worth it.
Cassie, I love your transparency in saying that, yes, you weren't liking motherhood and that you wanted to leave, because this is a subject that I think that a lot of us mothers, we don't raise enough. Motherhood is the hardest job in the world, and we can hide and say, oh, life is great, and you're hiding the mask sometimes of how you're truly feeling that you're struggling, and we feel that it's a wrong thing to reach out to others when we are struggling. So I love that you've brought that subject up, because I think that's so important that we can be honest as women to support each other in this and say, yeah, do you know what, motherhood is hard. There's days when I don't enjoy it. I want to run out the door away from it. So thank you so much for your honesty and saying that, because you're not alone.
Oh, right.
I can count. I mean, every week I want to run out my door. So, yes.
I know. And it still hits you every now and then. You're like, oh, geez. And it's those times. It's recognizing those moments when you're like, okay, you need a break.
Yes.
And take it.
Yeah.
Take the break. Don't keep on festering the old wound. Don't keep on going back into the old habits. Break the habit.
Yeah.
And exchange them for a better habit.
True. And saying when you need help as well. Don't always have to have this perfect mom persona, because there's no such thing, and it's just it's too hard to. So I'm a big person in actually saying, reach out, tell people I need help, and don't be afraid, because you'd be surprised at how many people actually want you to say the same thing, because you're actually starting to kind of like a ripple effect, as you were saying, in being able to support each other in that way. So yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So can you just collaborate? So so you've struggled around that now. So how do you maintain a work-life balance then, to keep that happy balance for yourself?
Oh, that's such a great question. I'm fortunate that my kids are in school now. So they go to school Monday to Friday. And during those days, it's my time where I get to create. I get to do all of the things that I love, that are fueling for me as an individual, not as a mom.
Yeah.
And I cherish every single moment that I have doing that. And in regards to balancing all of that out, it's been one of these things where I'm fully capable of working from or creating from 8 to 8. There is no limitation. I will take breaks here and there and that kind of stuff. But if given the fact that I didn't have a family, I would be able to literally just go all in all the time. That's just part of my personality type. But because I discovered this later on in life after I had children, I know that that's unacceptable as a family, and I create boundaries within that. So, you know what, when they come home, they're home, and I'm present and I'm with them. And it's one of these things that I've had to really learn about being present, about being totally in the moment, totally in the now. And that has helped me. I'm not perfect at it all the time, because really, truly what I do fuels me so much. I get so excited about it. I just want to be doing it. But I have learned that I need to manage my schedule. And so what I do is, for me in the morning, it's super important to have an intention set for the day. And in the morning when I wake up, I make sure I wake up at least 2 hours before they do. Sometimes an hour and a half, but I really do. I really create that space for myself, because if I don't, I'm actually not performing at my best. I'm not even being the mom that I do want to be when they do wake up. So when they are ready to wake up and when they come, I'm able to receive them, and I'm able to be excited to be with them and that kind of stuff. Whereas when I didn't have that structure to my morning routine, I felt resentful because I felt like they were taking my time. But really, truthfully, I took responsibility and I decided, okay, well, how do I want to spend my time?
Yeah.
And this was something that really worked for me. And then, you know, they do their thing. They go up to school in the summer or in the times off they have from school. I have to really talk to myself and be very, very conscious and present and be like, okay, they're home, which means you are present with them. You can still get things done, but just be really, I talk to myself a lot because I do find this helps. Just be really clear, Cassie, that you're actually not going to get to do the full 6-hour stunt. That's not going to happen for you today. You might get 2. And it's this matter of releasing the frenzy, releasing the need to always be producing, release that and decide how you want to feel in that moment and in that day. And I really consciously, and we do this together as like a family because I believe that I can help and they can help me in this. And I say, okay, so what's our goal for today, guys? How do we want to feel about today? Because if we're not all on the same page as to how we want to feel, we can't help one another. And they're 7 and they're 5, right? So they're still not developed in the ways that, you know, I may be speaking with them and all these sorts of things, but I'm just planting the seeds so that structurally and so that in this community that we have in our family, we can choose to have better days as opposed to days where it's just pure chaos. Does this happen every day? Absolutely not. But this is my end goal. This is what I truly want to create. So work-life balance happens very consciously, and I will set the tone for that. I'm cool to take the responsibility for it, knowing that, you know, and this happens already. All of a sudden, I'll be in a state that isn't super conducive to the environment that we're trying to create, and they will call me out on it.
I love that.
And right? But that's the standard that we're going to set for our family. And in the moment, sometimes I don't always like it. Who likes being called out when they're not acting great?
Sure.
In the moment, I don't always like it. But because I do practice being present and conscious, I can hear the words that they're saying to me, and I'm able to receive them and able to go like, all right, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I have no problem apologizing to my kids or anything like that. I have no problem doing that.
That's such good programming because, we are basically pre-programmed in our younger years. So what we feed our kids in these years, it's not only what we're telling them, but it's what we're showing them by the way that we're living as well. Yeah. So it really is practicing what you preach. And as you said, it's not going to be that way every day. But if it is 90%, it becomes their programming. So that's amazing. That's great. Well done.
Thank you. That's been a work in progress. That's 2 years in the making. So let's just be really clear on that.
But you're doing it. That's the most important thing. And it's sinking in because if they are pulling you up on it, it's obviously having some impact. So yes.
It's wild.
So you are passionate about self-love. So could you just share a few little tips for some mothers about what that is to you?
So thank you so much. So self-love, self-worth has definitely been the driving force as to why I created what I created and why I do what I do. And I believe that at the core of everything, there is this void in every single person's life. There is this depth of loneliness and this depth of despair. There is a depth that goes so deep. And we look to fill it. And a lot of the time we'll fill it with things. We'll fill it with a lot of external forces when it regards to, we might do like a lot of online shopping. We might, have to always have like the latest fragrance that's out there because that would mean that there's some sort of value in ourselves. Even as far as the type of water that we drink, the type of home that we live in, the type of clothing that we wear, the person who loves us, not how we love ourselves, how the person loves us will be able to fill, or we will want that desire to fill that void and those sorts of things that go so deep within the soul. And one thing that, I have learned about myself is that there actually is no external force on this planet that can fill me and that can allow me to see the value in myself than when I actually claim my own worth. And on my website, I have a free series, a 4-part video series on how to claim your self-worth, because this has been by far the most pinnacle, the most impactful, the most revolutionary shift that happened in my life was the moment that I decided that I was enough. And the moment that that decision came from me, it didn't come from somebody else telling me this. I was able to just like build myself up just enough to be like, no, Cassie, I am enough. I am worthy of love. I am worthy just because I am. And knowing that if everything was gone tomorrow, if everything was taken away from me tomorrow, I could still be me in my entirety, and I could still feel joy, and I could still feel love, and that no longer would outside external forces impact the way I chose to live my life. And that, like, their self-worth, I mean, I say this to all mothers, it is the easiest thing for us to negate. Our value system about ourselves is the easiest thing for us to decide, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that next week. Heck no, you won't. You take the action now. You do what you do now. So decide what, and just make it really simple. Don't like go all like big and like monumentous with yourself. If you're just in the beginning stages of what self-worth means to you, just pick one thing. So for a lot of women, it is exercise, and exercise being one of those biggest things because it has to do with body image. And a lot of us really will kick ourselves when we're down because of our body language. Because at some point or another, either one, we decided that it wasn't good enough, or somebody else told us it wasn't good enough, right? Yeah. So if this is where you want to start, this is where I started. I started taking better care of myself, of my physical body. I started eating better. I started putting superfood nutrition into my body. I started exercising. But I didn't start all those things at once. I legit just started taking food and putting it into my body that was better for me. That's where this all started for me, with deciding, okay, I don't like who I am right now, and I know I need to do something. I don't know why that was the trigger for me. I don't know why that was the thing I decided to do. All I did is I followed my intuition. I said, okay, I'm doing it. And in a matter of days, it was like this revolution happened inside my body. And this is the thing, please do not expect to be playing at a level 10 out of 10 if you're going to be fueling your body with a 2 out of 10. Sure. That is an unrealistic, and you need to manage your expectations within that. So raise the standard for what it's going to mean to feel that energy in your body. And if it means taking care of just the physical structure so that then you can have the energy to take care of the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, that's where it's going to take you. But just decide on one thing that you can do today and then commit to it. Make it a priority. Give yourself the permission to be selfish about it. And mothers, we have such a hard time with this word. And I get it because we are taught by society that motherhood is a selfless act, that motherhood requires sacrifice. But at what cost is what's never mentioned. So you must be selfish in your desire for your self-worth, because it is not going to come from how good of a mother you can be. It is not going to become by how great things are ironed and how perfect the dishes are put away. That's not your self-worth. Yeah. That is an external force. It comes from within. So do what you must do today. Commit to it and put it into daily action. This is your fight. This is your thing.
Yeah, because, if we want to be leaders to our children and teach them, we have to teach them that they have to take care of themselves as well. Because, I'm a mother of 5, so, for years, I never focused on myself. Everything went into my children. But then when I seen as my daughters were getting older, their behaviours, and I was like, for my first realization was it wasn't good enough for them. I was like, oh no, you treat yourself this way and that way and speak to yourself that way. And I realized they were learning it from me, the master of it. So I suppose for me, I started to do it at the start was for them. I wanted to make changes for my daughters. But then when I started diving into this work of self-love and self-worth, I realized actually I want to do this for me, because I actually started to love myself and see myself in a different light. So didn't start off that way, but yeah. But another thing as well is that, like, women that I've worked with over the years, and when we try to work on this area with them, it's like it's never a priority. When they made business and organising their home or life, whatever, that was always a priority. But whenever this area actually came up, they always like, oh well, I haven't got the time, I don't have the money to do this, and there was always excuses. But business, oh my God, they would dive straight in. House, dive straight in. But when it came to self-care, so it's a very important message, because I know it's a word that's kind of put out there a lot, but it's not really implemented in a lot of women's lives.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think that's why it keeps on getting put out there. I think that's why there's so many like leaders, like legit leaders who, you know, like they keep on saying this.
Yep.
I follow a lot of entrepreneurial like online experts, and a lot of them have built these incredible businesses around the foundation of self-worth. So it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
All we have to do is think about our children, and you've got 5 and you've got some adolescents, right?
Yeah.
What are they battling? What's their biggest fear, right?
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask those questions, and then you kind of realize, like, wow, this is never actually going to go away. That's why we keep talking about it. That's why it's important.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. It's like, if we want to succeed, we have to believe in ourselves, and that is it's the same thing. Whether you're loving yourself or it's a self-belief and a self-confidence, and it's really all the same thing. So until you figure out what is the deep down in your subconscious of what you really believe about yourself, because the world is a mirror, and you're going to keep constantly getting what you think about yourself. So that's why the leaders are always saying, yes, figure yourself out first before you figure anything else, because you're just going to keep going around in a circle and replaying the same events until you actually fix what's wrong. Not wrong, it's a wrong word to use, but what's kind of unbalanced,
out of alignment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Sinead, I just wanted to bring up a point really quick, that it's kind of like one of those like little like pet peeves that I have, and I hear women say this a lot in regards to, oh, you know, like self-worth, I get it, but how can you battle the media? The media is always portraying this unrealistic image and all these sorts of things. Well, you know, hon, you're not trying to battle the media. That's a battle you're going to lose. So stop trying to fight something that you legit, you're not going to win it.
Yes,
and stop letting that be an excuse for not taking the care, for not passing this on to the next generation. Like really, truly, it's not the media's fault. Right? You own your life. You own the responsibility that it means to do this. So do it. Like just, Yeah,
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's such an important message. So Cassie, where can we find you?
You can actually find me at cassiejeans.com. And if you go to cassiejeans.com/worthy, that is where you can claim my 4-part video series. And again, it's absolutely free. It's like designed and created for people that are, you know, it's really cool. It's a 4-part video series with a workbook that you can actually print out and do along with it. It's just like, and it's amazing what has been coming from this. I was like, I put this out there and I was like, okay, like I feel really good about this. I believe in this. I know it's gonna do something. But the shift that it's making in people is unbelievable. Amazing. So I definitely would encourage people, because worth is such a big deal, and because it's something that it's like the ground roots, it's your foundation, it's your root system. I would always say start there. So that's what I say, and then you can just cruise through and get to know me a little bit better. And there's a lot of amazing content there for people to get
I'll put the links below as well of where we can find you. Cassie, this has been such a great chat. I've really enjoyed this so much. Thank you for sharing everything, and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much. This was too much fun. See you guys. Mwah.
Hey, and thank you so much for watching the videos, and I really hope that you have enjoyed them. I'm super excited to share with you my must-have tools that I use in my business and my life. If you would like me to send them to you, just sign up down below and I will send them to you shortly. And come over and join the community of other success-driven mompreneurs. I will see you next week on The Mompreneur Show.